Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very cold Amakhala Game Reserve down in the Eastern Cape. We started our morning with a very well-hidden elephant bull, and he is trying to push over the thorn tree straight into the road. My name is Tess. Behind the camera is Morgan. Thank you for joining us on a very frosty morning. The temperature itself is not too bad, but the wind is icy when we are moving, so we're just trying to stay warm at this point. That's all we're trying to do. You might see that he's hiding himself pretty well considering how big he is. Linda Poley, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you've got your coffee and you're ready to go. We've also got our coffee with us this morning. Morgan's wearing long pants, Andy has a blanket, so that's how we know it's cold. Although he is saying he regrets wearing long pants today. It's not as cold as we were expecting, that's for sure. It was freezing last night. This morning is warmer than expected, but it's still cold, so don't be fooled. So good boy, we might have to move again when you move. Oh, he is massive. What a cool way to start the morning. He is definitely on a mission, and this is a pretty good area for lone elephant bulls at Amakhala. They like this very central part where there's lots of sweet thorn trees, which are all the thorn trees to his right and his left on the other side of the road. But there's also a lot of really nice green grasses, there's tubers, there's all sorts of things, because he's wandering between woodland and namakaru, which is a lot of small shrubs and flowers, lots of yummy things to dig up and eat.
We also have a drongo, a fork-tailed drongo. Just two of them. Johan says there's two. And they often associate with elephants, and the reason being is elephants attract a lot of insects, flies, as they also, when they walk, they chase up other insects, and that is what the drongo is after. Now, this is not necessarily a mutualistic relationship. Oh gosh, very windy there. This is more commensalism, where the elephant don't really benefit much from the association between the two species, because the sheer amount of flies being caught by the drongos doesn't really affect the elephant, but the drongo are being provided with food by associating with the presence of elephants. And that's commensalism. It's a symbiotic relationship where the one party is not influenced really, and the other party benefits directly from the association. I often hear people talk about symbiotic relationships and kind of like thinking that it's only mutually beneficial. Remember that symbiosis, if you really look at the term, it means simultaneous lives. Symbiosis. It's associations between species, relationships. But there are different types of symbiosis. So mutualism is where both parties directly benefit. Commensalism is what we see here. Then there's parasitism, where one party is harmed and the other party benefits.
Yes, you can tell the difference between male and equity birds. It's not an easy way, but you can tell the difference. The males have longer crest feathers and tail feathers than the female, and is a little bit bigger. Oh, we're starting to bob. We're starting to do a bit of a display. But it's not very easy to tell unless you can actually see them fully side by side and compare the lengths. So with a view like this, it's anyone's guess which one is male and which one is female. To me, the one at the back looks a little bit bigger, so potentially the male. But it could just be because its feathers are slightly more fluffed up than the females. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, the crest feathers and the tail feathers of the male will be longer, and he'll be a little smidge bigger than the female. Oh, we're starting a display. This is so special. I wonder if they're going to do the full display. So there's a number of different displays that they do. This is probably the most common one that we see. It looks so simple, but yet this is such an important part of the day for them. Wow. Oh, that was really cool to see just a smidge of that courtship display. Very cute. Now we're doing a very intense display of head rocking or whatever that is. I'm not sure. Maybe there's an ant in its nostril. Ah, Hannah, it's one of the coolest things down here. The herd surrounded by greenery, luckily, is not much of a rarity. So we are actually very, very lucky to see it looking so gorgeous. What's making you nervous? We're not far from where we had the zebras, so I wonder if that's what this one is smelling. You can see how her nostrils are flared. She's sniffing something, not quite sure how she feels at the moment. I wonder if she's sniffing the same things the zebras were. She's got quite a mean pose on her too. Getting herself ready to fight if she needs to. This is why you don't want to mess with the buffalo. You do not want to be on the bad end of that stair. Oh, it's quite intimidating. She's a young female. She's in excellent condition and she's very alert. Keeping the herd safe. She's taken it upon herself to be the protector. But it's an absolute privilege to be able to sit with a herd of buffaloes and enjoy them, in all honesty. It's not something that we'll ever take for granted, that's for sure. But it is unfortunately that time of the morning where we have to start saying goodbye, and it's not okay. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for joining us for an absolutely epic sunrise safari. I know it's been a bit of a challenge weather-wise, but between the elephants and the buffaloes and the zebras and the secretary birds, we've had an absolutely fantastic morning. So thank you very, very much for joining us. We will be out and about again this afternoon for our sunset safari at 2:30 p.m. Central African time. So if you want to come and join us for another absolutely epic adventure live in the African bush, please do. We're looking forward to having you there. But for now, it is time for us to go and get some breakfast. Hopefully it is a little bit tastier than the grass that the buffaloes are munching on. But thank you again. I hope you've enjoyed. And the buffaloes and us, we all say goodbye.